The Compassionate Focus Revolution, Redefining Success in a Hyperconnected World. Welcome to the BlackCEO podcast, where we challenge conventional wisdom and explore groundbreaking ideas that can transform your life and career. Today, we're diving into a conversation that will revolutionize your perspective on focus, compassion, and personal growth. I recently had the extraordinary privilege of interviewing Tracie Lewis, a visionary leader whose insights have the power to reshape the way we approach our goals and interact with the world around us. Tracie Lewis isn't just a successful entrepreneur, she's a beacon of hope in a world that often prioritizes ruthless ambition over human connection. Her innovative approach to leadership and personal development has touched countless lives, inspiring a new generation of compassionate leaders who are changing the face of business and society. Tracie's wisdom and experiences have left an indelible mark on me, and I'm thrilled to share these invaluable lessons with you today. Now, let me ask you a question that might make you pause. What if everything you thought you knew about success was only half the story? What if the key to unlocking your true potential lies not just in laser-like focus, but in a delicate balance of concentration and compassion? In my enlightening conversation with Tracie Lewis, she shared a perspective that challenged my understanding of what it truly means to be successful. She emphasized that genuine success isn't just about achieving your goals, it's about how you achieve them and the profound impact you have on others along the way. It's about creating a ripple effect of positive change that extends far beyond your immediate circle. Tracie's journey is a testament to the transformative power of staying focused while maintaining a compassionate outlook. She's not just a leader in her field, she's a trailblazer who's proving that success and kindness aren't mutually exclusive. They're synergistic forces that can propel us to heights we never thought possible. As we delve into the insights I gained from Tracie, I want you to keep an open mind. Some of what you're about to hear might contradict conventional wisdom about success and leadership, but that's precisely why it's so powerful. We're not here to reinforce the status quo. We're here to challenge it, to evolve beyond it. Let's begin with the concept of focus. We often think of focus as a laser-like concentration on our goals, blocking out everything else. But Tracie introduced me to a different perspective, one that's both revolutionary and deeply human. She believes that true focus is about being present, not just with your tasks, but with the people around you. Imagine you're in a crucial meeting presenting an idea you've poured your heart and soul into for months. You're so focused on getting your points across that you barely notice the reactions of your colleagues. You might think you're being productive, but are you really? According to Tracie, this kind of tunnel vision can actually be counterproductive, hindering your success and limiting your potential. Instead, she advocates for what she calls compassionate focus. This isn't just a catchy phrase, it's a paradigm shift in how we approach our work and our relationships. Compassionate focus means being fully present in the moment, aware not just of your objectives, but of the needs, reactions, and emotions of those around you. It's about listening as much as speaking, observing as much as presenting. Tracie shared a powerful story from her early career that illustrates this concept beautifully. She was working on a high-stakes project, one that could make or break her career. The pressure was intense, and she found herself so focused on meeting deadlines that she failed to notice her team was burning out. The project was completed on time, but at what cost? Team morale was at an all-time low, and the quality of work suffered. This experience was a wake-up call for Tracie, a moment of clarity that would reshape her entire approach to leadership and success. She realized that her narrow focus on the end goal had blinded her to the well-being of her team. From that point on, she made a conscious effort to practice compassionate focus. The results were nothing short of transformative. Not only did her team's productivity improve, but the quality of their work skyrocketed. By being present and attentive to her team's needs, Tracie created an environment where creativity flourished. Problems were solved more efficiently, and innovation became the norm rather than the exception. But here's the thing. Compassionate focus isn't just about team management. It's a principle that can be applied to every aspect of our lives, from our professional endeavors to our personal relationships. Think about your interactions with friends and family. How often do you find yourself half listening to a loved one because you're mentally preoccupied with work or other concerns? We've all been guilty of this at some point, haven't we? Tracie challenges us to bring the same level of presence we apply to our work to our personal interactions. When you're with someone, be fully with them. Listen not just to respond, but to understand. This kind of focused attention can deepen our relationships and enrich our lives in ways we might not expect. It's about creating meaningful connections that go beyond surface level interactions. Now, I can almost hear some of you thinking, this all sounds great in theory, but how do I maintain this level of focus and compassion when I have a million things demanding my attention? It's a valid concern and one that Tracie addresses head on with a practical approach that anyone can implement. She introduced me to a concept she calls intentional pausing. Now, don't confuse this with taking breaks, although those are important too. Intentional pausing is about creating moments of reflection throughout your day. It's a practice of stepping back, even for just a few seconds, to assess not just what you're doing, but how you're doing it. Tracie suggests setting reminders on your phone or computer to prompt these pauses. When the reminder goes off, take a deep breath and ask yourself, am I being present? Am I considering the impact of my actions on others? Am I approaching this task or interaction with compassion? These brief moments of reflection can help recenter you and ensure that you're not just going through the motions, but truly engaging with your work and the people around you. But let's be real for a moment. This isn't always easy. In fact, Tracie admits that it can be downright challenging, especially when you're under pressure. She shared a particularly stressful period in her career when she found herself slipping back into old habits of tunnel vision focus. It was during a major company restructuring, and Tracie was responsible for making some tough decisions that would affect hundreds of employees. The stakes were high and the pressure was intense. She found herself working long hours, barely sleeping and neglecting her own well-being, let alone considering the emotional state of her team. One day, in the middle of a tense meeting, Tracie caught a glimpse of herself in a reflective surface. She was shocked by what she saw, a stressed, exhausted version of herself that she barely recognized. It was a moment of reckoning, a stark reminder of the person she had promised herself she would never become again. At that moment, she remembered her commitment to compassionate focus. She called for a short break in the meeting and took a moment to practice intentional pausing. She took a few deep breaths and reminded herself of the bigger picture. Yes, the restructuring was important, but so was the well-being of her team and herself. When she returned to the meeting, her approach was noticeably different. She listened more, asked for input, and considered the human impact of each decision. The result? The restructuring process, while still challenging, became more collaborative and ultimately more successful. Not only were they able to achieve their business objectives, but they did so in a way that preserved team morale and even strengthened relationships within the company. This story illustrates an important point. Practicing compassionate focus isn't about being perfect. It's about making a consistent effort and being willing to course correct when we slip up. It's about recognizing that we're human, with all the flaws and potential that entails, and choosing to approach our work and our relationships with intention and empathy. Now, let's talk about how this approach can impact our personal growth. Tracie believes that compassionate focus is not just a tool for better leadership or relationships, it's a pathway to self-discovery and personal development. When we practice being present and compassionate with others, we inevitably become more attuned to our own thoughts, feelings, and motivations. This self-awareness is crucial for personal growth. Tracie shared how this practice helped her overcome a long-standing fear of public speaking. Instead of focusing solely on her performance and what others might think of her, she started to approach speaking engagements with compassion, both for herself and her audience. She would remind herself that her audience was there to learn, not to judge. She focused on how she could best serve them with her message, rather than on her own insecurities. This shift in perspective not only improved her speaking skills, but also helped her enjoy the process. What was once a source of anxiety became an opportunity for connection and impact. This brings us to another crucial point, the role of self-compassion in staying focused. We often think of focus as a matter of willpower, forcing ourselves to concentrate despite distractions or discomfort. But Tracie argues that true sustainable focus comes from a place of self-compassion. When we're kind to ourselves, acknowledging our efforts and forgiving our mistakes, we create an internal environment that's conducive to focus. We're less likely to be derailed by self-doubt or criticism and more likely to stay committed to our goals. It's about creating a positive feedback loop where compassion fuels focus and focus allows us to be more compassionate. Tracie encourages us to talk to ourselves the way we would talk to a dear friend. If you make a mistake, instead of berating yourself, try saying something like, that didn't go as planned, but that's okay. What can I learn from this? This kind of self-talk can help us stay focused and motivated, even in the face of setbacks. As we near the end of our time together, I want to emphasize a key takeaway from my conversation with Tracie: the power of small, consistent actions. Practicing compassionate focus doesn't require a complete overhaul of your life. It starts with small, intentional choices made day by day. Maybe it's taking a moment to really listen to a colleague instead of multitasking during a conversation. Perhaps it's pausing to consider the impact of your words before sending an email. Or it could be showing yourself kindness when you're struggling with a task. These small actions, repeated consistently, can lead to profound changes in how we work, how we relate to others, and how we view ourselves. Tracie's insights have challenged me to rethink my approach to focus and success. Her message reminds us that true achievement isn't just about reaching our goals. It's about how we reach them and the impact we have along the way. It's about creating a legacy of compassion and positive change that extends far beyond our individual accomplishments. As we conclude, I want to leave you with the challenge inspired by Tracie Lewis. For the next week, commit to practicing compassionate focus. Set reminders for intentional pausing throughout your day. When the reminder goes off, take a moment to check in with yourself and those around you. Are you being present? Are you approaching your tasks and interactions with compassion? At the end of the week, reflect on how this practice has affected your work, your relationships, and your sense of self. You might be surprised by the impact of this small but powerful change, but let's not stop there. I want to challenge you to think bigger. How can you incorporate compassionate focus into your leadership style? How can you use this approach to driving innovation in your industry? How can you leverage this concept to create positive change in your community? Imagine a world where compassionate focus is the norm, not the exception. A world where businesses thrive not at the expense of their employees, but because of their well-being. A world where personal success is measured not just by individual achievements, but by the positive impact we have on others. This isn't just a feel-good fantasy. It's a viable, powerful approach to success that has the potential to transform our workplaces, our relationships, and our society as a whole. And it starts with each one of us making the conscious choice to practice compassionate focus in our daily lives. Remember, success isn't just about what you achieve. It's about who you become in the process. By staying focused while cultivating compassion, we can not only reach our goals, but also enrich our lives and the lives of those around us. We can become the kind of leaders, colleagues, friends, and family members who inspire others to grow, to connect, and to make a difference. As we end our time together, I want to leave you with a question to ponder. How might your life change if you approached each day with both unwavering focus and boundless compassion? The answer, I believe, has the power to transform not just your own life, but the world around you. Thank you for joining me on this journey of discovery. I hope Tracie Lewis's insights have inspired you as much as they've inspired me. Now, it's time for action. Go forth and practice compassionate focus. Be present, be kind, and watch as your definition of success expands to encompass not just what you achieve, but the positive impact you create along the way. Remember, in the words of Tracie Lewis, success is not just about reaching the destination. It's about how we travel the journey and who we bring along with us. Let's embark on this journey together with focus in our minds and compassion in our hearts. The world is waiting for the positive change we can create. Are you ready to answer the call?